Welcome back to the NSAA State Baseball Tournament. The semifinals, top of the third inning, underway. A foul ball by Quinn Waring. And it's an 0-1 count. Still out on the mound is Logan White. There's the pitch to Waring, and that one's inside for a ball, 1-1. Lincoln Northwest fans, I know you guys can't hear them at home, but they are very loud. They are yelling, they're cheering over to my right. Even when they scored those 2 runs, they were super, super loud. It was almost like there was a window open in this booth. As a pitch down low makes it 2-1. Quinn Waring flew out to Brody Hoover over at second base back in the first inning. Here's the 2-1 and a high towering fly ball out into left field. Jordan Monroe waves his teammates away and makes the catch for the first out. Well, besides that second inning stretch that Lincoln Northwest put on Logan White, Norris has done a very good job defensively so far. They just now need to get their offense going. They've held a few runners on base, but they haven't been able to bring them home. They've had a runner on second in the first inning and a runner on third in the second. First pitch here to the 4-hole hitter, the cleanup hitter, Eric Greaser, flew out to left field back in the first inning and fouls one off down the third baseline, and then a Norris ball boy runs over there and slides epically to get the ball. So no balls and a strike. Here's the pitch. Ooh, and that one was a curveball and did not curve all the way. Almost hit Greaser there for ball 1. So 1-1 on an inside pitch. And then Michael threw it back to Logan White on the mound, and White wasn't actually paying attention, and the ball went past him. So luckily there wasn't a base runner on, or else the base runner would have been able to advance. Here's the 1-1 pitch. And that one's right at the knees. Great fastball delivery there by White. Right at the knees there of Greaser. And it's a ball and 2 strikes. By the way, there is 1 out. And Lincoln Northwest has a 2-0 lead, courtesy of an RBI single in the second inning by Tyler Aldridge. This one's fouled off. And the count is still 1-2. 44 pitches deep for Logan White. 1 walk thrown. 2 strikeouts so far, and he's given up 2 runs. And I actually apologize. He's actually thrown two walks. Excuse me. Here's the pitch. Ground ball goes straight to Cale Fountain. Scoops it up, picks it up, and throws it over to first base and makes the play. So Fountain with a 6-3 second out, and there's 2 down here for Lincoln Northwest. Now the goal for Norris is to get the lead back. They were trailing in the top of the 4th inning on Monday against Waverly 5-4. They immediately came back in the top of the 4th inning and scored 6 runs to take a 10-5 lead. That's how quickly they got back into the lead. Haven't done it so quickly this time, though, and weren't able to get anything going besides that runner on third base back in the bottom of the second. That first pitch inside as a ball to Dylan Kotick. Second pitch laces the outside edge of the strike zone for strike 1, 1-1, 2 outs. Dylan Kotick struck out back in the second. The 1-1 is popped up into foul territory right next to the first base bag. Bryce Fountain's under it and makes the catch. And that is a 1-2-3 inning for the Titans. Great bounce back inning from Logan White, who gave up 2 runs in the top of the second. This time, though, goes 1-2-3 through the order for Norris. 2-0. Norris trails it to Lincoln Northwest. We'll be back for the bottom of the third after this on All Red 99.5. Welcome back to the NSAA State Baseball Tournament here on All Red 99.5. This game is brought to you by Nebraska Land Tire and Service in Crete. AgWest Commodities, your marketing partner. Go online at goagwest.com. Beatrice Community Hospital and Health Center. Lammo Plumbing in Beatrice and Miller Sales in Claytonia. All Red 99.5 is glad to bring you this baseball game here in Norris. We're so glad to be able to follow them through this state baseball tournament. They've done a phenomenal job so far, beating Lincoln Northwest last Saturday 13-2, beating Waverly on Monday 13-6. They're undefeated heading into this game. Lincoln Northwest, meanwhile, has a 1 loss so far to Norris. They beat Beatrice 3-2 on Monday and beat Waverly yesterday 3-0. So Norris would need to lose this game and then lose the next to be eliminated. Lincoln Northwest, if they lose this game, they're out. Norris goes to the championship game. If Norris loses this game and wins the next, they're still on to the championship game. So they basically have a 2-game buffer against Lincoln Northwest right now. That doesn't mean that they don't want to win this first game, though. Here's the first pitch to Alex Small, and it's down and away for a ball. Small, a righty, had a great game, 1-for-1 on Monday, got an RBI single, and reached twice due to being hit by a pitch. The 1-0 is inside and just a ball for 2-0. I'm sure Small had a few bruises after that game on Monday as he calls time before the next pitch. But he did end up becoming a big factor in the game, being the 9-hole hitter, so I'm sure he can't complain about his impact that he had in that game against Waverly. I bet all of you listening probably recognize the name Alex Small. He did play for the basketball team that we covered back in March. They made it to the championship game. There's a nice strike at the knees there for a 2-1 count. Small played point guard for the team, averaged 5.4 points per game, despite the loss to Scott Catholic in the title game back in March. Here's the 2-1, down and outside for a 3-1 hitters count here for Alex Small. Logan Michael, the leadoff hitter in the order, is on deck. Sean Bartholomew is standing down that third base line. He just kind of started clapping down the third base line. I think he told his team to make these at-bats a little bit longer. Here's the 3-1. Down in the dirt, skips up for ball 4, and Alex Small turns to the dugout, pats his chest, and hypes up his team as he draws a 5-pitch walk. And Norris has a man on base with no outs here. Something that they haven't done yet in this game. So Logan Michael comes up to the plate, flew out to left field on a first pitch swing back in the bottom of the first, gets a talking to by Coach Bartholomew. And he comes up to the plate here. Now Michael, forgot to mention, is a left-handed batter, and we get a little bit of a chess match going on here between the two teams. So Coach Bartholomew talks to Michael before the at-bat. Now Jack Duvall, the catcher, runs out to Zayden Fry, the pitcher, to talk to him before the at-bat. So both teams trying to one-up one another with a strategy right now. Logan Michael, like I said, flew out to left field back in the bottom of the first, so he's 0-for-1 in this game. Michael did go 0-for-3, but reached twice off of an error and once off of a fielder choice and scored 2 runs against Waverly. First pitch is outside, and it's 1-0. I think right there, Zayden Fry was just pitching outside to his catcher, Jack Duvall, just in case Alex Small tries to steal a base. Here's the 1-0, the delivery, and just a tad outside to the lefty. It's 2-0. Alex Small stands on first base, by the way. I want to mention that this season, Small only has 2 stolen bases, but he hasn't been thrown out stealing a base yet. The 2-0, Small takes off. He's running for second. The throw to second base is in time. They got him with the tag. Alex Small tried to steal, and I think I might have just done the commentator jinx, because for the first time this season, after I mentioned it, he got thrown out. I apologize. So Small is caught stealing, and I think Coach Bartholomew did not particularly want him to steal there. Small took off. He thought it was the right time. It's still 2 balls and a strike, though, with 1 out now. No runners on. The pitch to Michael. Inside, and that is really going to hurt. That is Bartholomew. So this is why that one's going to hurt. So Bartholomew walks away and is a little bit upset because that ball right there, that pitch to Jack Duvall, went behind him for a passed ball. Would have advanced Alex Small to second base anyways if he didn't try that steal attempt. 3-1 is the pitch, and fouled off by Michael. It'll run the count full to 3-2, so that is a tough one there. Small is in the dugout. I don't think he's too happy with himself. But if he waited on first base and didn't try to steal, that next pitch would have been a passed ball. He would have been able to get to second base anyways. 3-2 with 1 out, 2-0 lead for Lincoln Northwest. Here's the pitch. Oh, and that just hit Michael. Pretty sure, yep. Ooh, that one's got to hurt. But Logan Michael with a hit by pitch gets to first base now with 1 out. And once again, Norris has a runner on, as Michael is actually going to come out of the game, and a pinch runner will come in here for Logan Michael. Can't quite see the numbers, so until he turns around. But there is a pinch runner in the game right now. See here, I believe. So don't particularly know who the pinch runner is right now until he turns around. I'll wait to say that, but there is a pinch runner right now on first base for Logan Michael. Coming up now is Cale Fountain. The first pitch down low for ball 1. So Kyson Ghana is the pinch runner, wanted to mention. Thank you to the PA announcer for giving that one out. So Kyson Ghana is on first base as the pinch runner. Here's the 1-0 pitch. That one's down and away for ball 2 to Fountain. Cale Fountain had an interesting play back in the bottom of the first inning where he made it to the bag, was called safe initially, then after review, they called him out as he grounded out to short. So he's 0 for 1 in the game. The 2-0. Fountain wanted to go after that one, but it's 2-1. So 2 balls and 1 strike with 1 out. 40 pitches deep now for Zayden Fry. He's going up against one of the best players on this Norris roster now. This entire team is just stacked with stars. As a pitch down in the dirt gets away, and the runner at first takes off and steals. I don't think that's going to be a passed ball because keeping it in front of him was Jack Duvall, but Kyson Ghana is able to steal, we'll just call it a stolen base for now. I don't think that's going to go down as a wild pitch or a pass ball. I think it's just going to go down as a stolen base. So the runner is now in scoring position on second base. Kyson Ghana doesn't have that many at-bats, but he does have 18 games played. He does come in as pinch runner a lot for this team, and he just picked up his 6th stolen base of the season, by the way. He's on second base now with 1 out. Here's the pitch, and an awkward hit, to shortstop. Catch is made by Tyler Aldridge. That one hung up in the air for a while there, but it was caught by Aldridge over at short for the 2nd out. And then Aldridge, as he was making that catch, kind of hit the ground awkwardly, and I think he just got the wind knocked out of him, and he is getting up slowly, and Faulkner's running out to meet him over right where the grass, or where the dirt meets the grass out near shortstop. So Faulkner runs all the way out there to check on his team, or to check on his player, just for Aldridge to get up and pat him and say, "I'm good," and he runs all the way back. Shows how good Faulkner is as a coach. Despite, even if his player looks okay, he still runs out there to check on him anyways, and that's probably what Sean Bartholomew would do as well. So 2 outs, runner on second base. Here's Jordan Monroe, was walked back in the first. And that is grounded down the first baseline and foul. Reached second base due to a passed ball, but was stranded. Well, Kyson Ghana is ready to run at any point. By the time that ball was picked up by the first baseman, Logan Scholes, after it was foul, he was all the way at third base. So any contact into the outfield would be a base hit and would score a run. This one's grounded, though, to second base. Quinn Waring has a read on it and makes the play. And once again, Norris leaves a runner stranded on second base. Ground out to second base for Monroe, and it's 2-0 Lincoln Northwest as we head to the 4th inning next on All Red. Welcome back to the NSAA State Baseball Tournament here on All Red 99.5, brought to you by Building Tech, your Seco Building Systems builder in Beatrice. Creative Surfaces, your countertop specialist of Beatrice. Great Area Medical Center, Wilburn Friend Medical Clinic, Smith Auto in Pawnee City. Learn more at smithautoane.com. Titan Nutrition in downtown Hickman, and Complete Insurance is proud to support the Norris Titans. Top of the 4th inning, we've been stalemated, or we're currently at a stalemate, I should say, at a 2-0 ball game. Both teams are leaving runners stranded on base. Currently, Norris has left 3 runners stranded on base, 2 of them on second, 1 of them on third. Leading off for the Falcons, as the first pitch is a strike down the chute, is Sam Ramsey, who was walked in the 2nd inning, but was thrown out at home back in the 2nd. So he did not score. First pitch was a strike. Second pitch, down low, ball 1, 1-1. So Logan White still out on the mound right now for Norris. I'm trying to get through As this one is cracked down the left field line and really, really deep. It's back at the wall, and it's gone. A home run for Sam Ramsey to lead off the top of the fourth. And it's 3-0 Lincoln Northwest. That one was absolutely crushed right into the bullpen for Norris. And the Falcons fans are on their feet once again in their purple and gray. 3-0 Lincoln Northwest. Sam Ramsey, that one was demolished. He now, for Ramsey, hits his first homer of the season, the junior, fourth of the season for the Falcons. After all of that, it's now Logan Scholes who comes up to bat with no outs in a 3-0 ball game. Takes a pitch down low. Now, there is action in the Norris bullpen I want to continue to mention. Logan White gives up a homer. Got to think if he gives up a base hit here, Sean Bartholomew might think about taking a trip to the mound to at least calm him down. Second pitch down low, ball 2. 2-0 count. Now, if Norris loses this game, there would be a game following this between the Falcons and the Titans. Once again, it would be an elimination game for both teams. This isn't an elimination game for Norris yet. Nice pitch there at the knees there of Scholes for strike 1, 2-1. So Norris can still lose this game and still play another one, but that game would be very intense because both teams, if they were to lose, could be eliminated. Ground ball foul. It's 2-2. Now the winner of this game, or I should say the winner, whether it's Lincoln Northwest after 2 games or Norris after 2 games or Norris after 1, whoever ends up advancing to the final on Friday would play the winner of Gretna East and Blair, which they play later on this afternoon. This one's looped down the left field line and foul. Just barely. That one was pretty risky there because that was a chance to, if that went down that left field line and fair, that would have been really bad. That would have been extra bases for sure for Scholes, who, by the way, reached on a walk and scored a run back in the second. This pitch is grounded straight to third base, and an awkward bounce. Alex Small cannot field it correctly, and it's a base hit. This will go down for sure as a base hit. And a runner on first now for the Falcons. The ball just bounced super awkwardly. Alex Small came over from third, and it took a bounce to the right. And Small, instead of having it or being able to field it with his glove, had to try to field it with his hand. Now we're going to get a mound visit here, but this isn't going to be a mound visit by Coach Bartholomew. It's just going to be a mound visit. Well, I actually say that, and then Coach Bartholomew immediately walks out of the dugout. Let's see now if Bartholomew decides to pull the trigger and see if Logan White, his day might be done here. Let's see. There has been a warm-up in the Norris bullpen for a while. So a home run given up, a solo shot for Sam Ramsey, and then a base hit for Logan Scholes. With no outs for Lincoln Northwest, it's 3-0 and a runner on first. So I don't know what the discussion is, but Bartholomew is going to leave Logan White out there, gives him a pat on the arm, and says, "You got it. Let's keep him out." So for the time being, White stays out there. I want to mention that there is a pinch runner on first base for Lincoln Northwest. It will not be Logan Scholes. Unfortunately, with the angle that I'm sitting at right now, can't quite see the number on that jersey. But it's going to be Jacob Robeson, who hit a single and scored a run back in the second. He'll be up to the plate with a runner on first. He's going to bunt. This is going to be a really tough play here for Logan Michael. Picks it up, throws it to first. Not in time. Safe at first. A sacrifice bunt was a really, really tough play. And Robeson is on first. Scholes moves to second. And this is getting quite dangerous here for the Titans. With the way that this Lincoln Northwest team has been playing throughout the last 2 days, they are not the team to want to start trailing to in this contest. It's Zayden Fry, the 9-hole hitter. And stepping off is Logan White, checking on second base. So there's 2 on, no outs still. And it was a solo home run here in the top of this inning, which made it 3-0 Lincoln Northwest. 57 pitches deep for White. The pitch. Showing bunt and popping it up and foul is Fry. So I believe that the runner on second base is Alex Berry for Lincoln Northwest. So Alex Berry is on second as the pinch runner for Logan Scholes. Berry's on second, Robeson on first. Fry at the plate. On deck is Aldridge, who did hit a 2-run RBI single in the second, which put Lincoln Northwest up 2-0. No balls and a strike. Here's the pitch. Down and away for ball one. And showing bunt, by the way, is Fry. So he's looking to try to sacrifice bunt here. Try to get himself on again, just like Robeson did. Lincoln Northwest, they have done a good job shutting down teams offensively. 2 runs scored by Beatrice, none from Waverly. The first pitch, or this pitch, is bunted up in the air and caught by the first baseman, Bryce Fountain. What a heads-up play by Fountain. And there's one down. None of the runners advance. Bryce Fountain makes a huge play running in to try to field the ball as it was bunted down the first baseline, but up in the air, so he was able to make the catch. The runners stay put on first and second, but here is a scary situation, and here comes Sean Bartholomew. Tyler Aldridge hit a RBI single, which scored 2 runs in the second. I think Bartholomew might pull the trigger here. He is going to pull the trigger on Logan White, who finishes the game pitching 3 1/3 with 2 strikeouts, 2 walks, no wild pitches, no hit by pitch. Gave up a home run, a couple singles, and 3 runs. So Logan White's day is done. We'll have the new Norris pitcher when we return. 3-0 Lincoln Northwest leading it over Norris with 1 out in the top of the 4th, 2 on for the Falcons. We'll return after this for the pitching change for Norris. Welcome back to the NSAA State Baseball Tournament. 3 1/3 innings pitched by Logan White. The starter gives up 3 runs, 2 strikeouts, 2 walks, and leaves the game with 2 runners on and only 1 out here in the top of the 4th, and a 3-0 Lincoln Northwest lead. So Logan White finishes off his day, and coming in for Logan White is Beckett Lund. Now we saw Lund come in the final inning against Waverly, and he got the final 3 outs of the inning, just 1, 2, 3, back to back. So he didn't have to extend his arm too much. He came in, like I said, in the top or the bottom of the 7th inning, actually, for Porter Dutter, who pitched 4 innings in that game. But Lund, this season so far, he's number 5. He's a senior, and he has a 1-2 record with a 3.11 ERA, and he's going to come into this game with only 1 out and 2 on for Lincoln Northwest. Robeson is at first, and Alex Berry is on second for the Falcons. Now, Beckett Lund carries a 3.9 GPA at Norris. Started playing baseball when he was 9 years old for the Lincoln Dodgers. Finished his youth career, though, at the Lincoln Rebels. He played basketball for the Titans in his freshman year. And he has committed to a college already. Committed to the Hutchinson Blue Dragons baseball team in Hutchinson, Kansas. So he will be playing collegiate ball. Hit 90 miles per hour in November when he was pitching during the winter. 2 runners on, though. 1 out. First pitch up high at about where it says Falcons on that jersey for Lincoln Northwest, and it's 1-0. Beckett Lund was actually injured for a little bit of this season. He broke his finger earlier on in the year trying to bunt against Pius X. He's back in, though, now. This pitch fouled off all the way back into the concourse, and it's 1-1. Now here at Tal Anderson Field at the University of Nebraska, Omaha, to each foul pole, it's 330 down the left and right field line, 410 all the way out to center field. 1-1 is the pitch. Lund takes a long look back at second and delivers, and a swing and a miss. Foul tipped into the glove of Logan Michael, and it's 1-2. So 1 ball, 2 strikes. See what Lund can do here on the mound. 3 pitches deep. Delivers. Swing and a miss. Big strikeout by Lund, and he screams into his glove. Big out there. A strikeout by Lund on a man in Tyler Aldridge that got an RBI single, which scored 2 runs back in the second. A huge out there for Beckett Lund. First strikeout of the game for Lund. And he got 1 strikeout, by the way, in the bottom of the 7th against Waverly on Monday. Here's Grant Swanson. Grounds 1 straight to first. Play is made by Bryce Fountain, and he makes the play unassisted over at first. And a huge play by Beckett Lund to come in and limit the damage out of the bullpen. Cannot sit here and forget about the play by Bryce Fountain, though. Made a sliding play by the first base bag and went in there unassisted for the 3rd out. But Lincoln Northwest, they do leave 2 stranded, but they do hit a solo homer courtesy of Sam Ramsey. It's 3-0 in favor of the Falcons, heading to the bottom of the 4th on Ole Red. Welcome back to the NSAA State Baseball Tournament on Ole Red, brought to you by Titan Nutrition in downtown Hickman. Tim Hartley with Heap and Tree Service, Clausen and Sons Dirtwork of Beatrice, Premier Chevrolet Buick GMC of Beatrice, discover the premier difference. Starbuco Insurance in Fairbury and Complete Insurance is proud to support the Norris Titans. Well, it's time for our 4th inning adjustment of the game. What does Norris have to do differently? As this one's brought to you by Tatro Chiropractic in Fairbury and Deschler. Well, what does Norris have to do differently? I think they're doing a lot of things right offensively. They're getting on base. They've started to make these at-bats a little bit longer for Zayden Fry, who's still out on the mound for the Falcons, instead of swinging at the first pitch. But they just have not been able to bring home runners. They've left 3 runners stranded, 2 on second base, 1 on third. They need to bring home those runners. This could be a completely different ballgame if they were to bring those runners home so far, and they haven't been able to. That is our 4th inning adjustment of the game, brought to you by Tatro Chiropractic in Fairbury and Deschler. Leading off here is Crew Muller, and he takes a hit by pitch on the first pitch of the inning. Could this be the way that Norris gets things started offensively? Hit by pitch for Muller. I was about to mention that he was 0 for 1 in the game where he flew out to left field back in the first, and he gets on base now. Crew Muller was 1 for 4, reached on a walk, got an RBI double, and reached on an error as well. Scored a run as well in that game against Waverly. Gets hit by pitch here, though, and no outs, and here is Logan White. He flew out to center field back in the second and takes a pitch right down the chute for an 0-1 count. Zayden Fry is still in the game, has walked 2, hit by pitch to 2 batters as well, 3 batters at this point. He has 1 strikeout in the game, and he's 47 pitches deep. Here's the 0-1. Ooh, that one just above the belt, barely for ball 1, 1-1. Logan White will be the DH and still playing in the lineup despite getting taken out of the game on the mound as Fry checks on Muller at first. He slides in there safely. What a beautiful day it is, though. It's not really getting up into the 70s quite yet. Still in the upper 60s. A cloudy day, but the sun peeking through a little bit as that one's inside for a 2-1 count. And it's a beautiful view as well. You have a Pacific Life building right in front of us all the way out in center field. You have basically a highway ramp over to our left going into Omaha. And then you have Baxter Arena, home of the Omaha Mavericks basketball team, over to our right. It really is a beautiful view here in Omaha this morning, or should I say afternoon at this point. Curveball inside, did not get the strike zone. Ball 3-1 count. Tail Anderson Field, quite something at the campus of the University of Nebraska, Omaha. Whoever goes on to play at the championship game on Friday, whether it's Lincoln Northwest or Norris, they would be playing on Friday at Werner Park. They would not be playing here at Tail Anderson. This one's cracked down the left field line and barely foul. That was dangerous. That could have at least sent Crew Muller all the way to third base. If it stayed fair, it would have went all the way into the corner. And here at Tail Anderson Field, it's really, the foul territories are really, really just wide. There's a lot of ground in there, so if a ball goes down the foul line and it's fair, it's going to take a while for the left or right fielder to get to the ball. Here's the 3-2 count and the pitch. This one's, again, foul. Right where it says Tall Anderson Field, down that third base foul line. So still 3-2. There goes the ball boy again for Norris. Let's see if he slides again. He does. Every time that Norris ball boy goes out, I'm going to see if he slides because it looks pretty cool, and he does it so smoothly. That's the second time today that he's done that. Here's the 3-2, and just outside, ball 4. The Lincoln Northwest fans started clapping as though that was strike 3. I think they clapped a little bit prematurely. It's ball 4 instead, and here comes a mound visit. Faulkner is coming out. So Coach Matt Faulkner, baseball player at Wayne State from Ontario, Canada, said he does like the Toronto Maple Leafs, who were eliminated in the previous round of the Stanley Cup playoffs to the Boston Bruins. But I just had to ask him that, being a hockey fan myself. He is a fan of the Maple Leafs, and I can safely say that he was not happy about the previous result. So it looks like I think there's going to be a change here. Let's see here. So I think Zayden Fry is going to go play in the infield. Pretty sure. And on the mound now is Aldridge. Okay. So it's going to be Tyler Aldridge on the mound now for Lincoln Northwest. And I believe, so now I think playing at shortstop will be Zayden Fry. So I want to confirm that completely here, but actually it looks like, I believe Zayden Fry is actually at second base. Yes, he is. Zayden Fry is at second base now. And at first base is still Logan Scholes, so I believe standing over there at shortstop is going to be Quinn Waring. As I write this in my book here, so a lot of changes. Quinn Waring will go from second base to short, and the shortstop, Tyler Aldridge, will move from short to become the pitcher. And the pitcher, Zayden Fry, will move from the pitching position to second base. That is the change here in this game. So Tyler Aldridge, as we take a look at his stats on the mound. Aldridge here is a senior, 1-0 record, he actually has only pitched a third of an inning the entire season. So he doesn't have too much experience on the mound quite yet this year. He did, in the one batter he faced, though, he does have a strikeout. First pitch, they show bunting down the third base line. Here's Brody Hoover, and he's going to make it safely to first base. Heads up play by Hoover. It's a bunt, but the bases are loaded for the Titans. And look out for Norris. This is how quickly they can get things going in a heartbeat. They scored 6 runs in the top of the fourth inning after giving up 5 in the bottom of the third against Waverly and took a 10-5 lead. And all of a sudden, the bases are loaded. Moeller is on third. White is on second. Hoover is on first. No outs, trailing 3-0. And here's John Hood. Hit by pitch back in the second inning. Stole 2 bases in that inning, by the way, which was his 21st and 22nd stolen bases of the year. First pitch down and outside. 1-0 is the count. A lot of pressure here for Tyler Aldridge. Now in this situation, no outs. There is a force play at the plate, though, if the Falcons want it. That pitch just on the outside edge of the strike zone for a strike. 1-1 is the count. So Zayden Fry finishes the game with a strikeout, 3 batters hit by pitch, and 2 walks. Did not give up a run, though, and only gave up 1 hit. So I'd say that's a successful day on the mound for Zayden Fry. A ball and a strike, no outs. The pitch, swung on and missed by John Hood. He was trying to go deep. Now, sacrifice fly would score a run. Any ball out into the outfield to be caught would score a run. That would score Crew Moeller from third. At this point, Norris cannot leave anybody on, or they at least have to get a single run in this inning. They've already left 3 on base through the first 3 innings. Ground ball to third base, and making the tag, throw over to first, not in time. He's safe, but the tag is applied to Crew Moeller, and there's 1 down. So White advances from second to third, Hoover from first to second, Hood is on first base with a fielder's choice, and Moeller is tagged out down the third baseline as that ball went straight to Eric Greaser at third. He just applied the tag for the first out. So the bases are still loaded. Here is Bryce Fountain. First pitch to Fountain, down low for ball 1, 1-0. Fountain will be playing on a field like this down in Lincoln in just about a couple years or so. He's only a sophomore, but he's committed to play at the University of Nebraska-Lincoln for the Cornhuskers. Committed all the way back in 8th grade to play for UNL. 1-0 count here. The pitch. Bryce Fountain wanted to go for that one, but he checked his swing smartly. It's 2-0 as a pitch down low. Now, who knows? Now, obviously, Husker fans would want a guy like Bryce Fountain on the team, but who knows if he's going to. There's still a lot of time left in his high school career, and his brother, Cale, initially committed to Florida State, then now is committed to LSU. Pitch down in the dirt, 3-0 count here. Now, a walk would bring in a run with the bases loaded, and a 3-0 Lincoln Northwest lead. Remember, Gretna East and Blair will play later on. The winner of this game to the final will play the winner of that game in the final. Bryce Fountain just stands there and takes the 3-0 count down the chute for a 3-1. Usually hitters, MLB, college, and high school, don't typically like hitting 3-0 counts. They want to see if the pitcher can throw a strike or they would get walked. Here's the 3-1. Oh, that was a tough pitch to take for Fountain. It's a strike. Bottom outside corner of the strike zone. It's 3-2. This would be a huge strikeout for Tyler Aldridge if he can get it here. 3 balls, 2 strikes, 1 out. Bases loaded. The pitch. Fountain loops this one into shallow right, and the catch is made. Oh, the catch is made by Zayden Fry, the former pitcher playing the second base position. There's 2 outs, and none of the runners move. This would be a really, really costly inning if Norris can't get at least 1 run home. Trailing 3-0 in this game, they still only have 1 hit, and that hit came all the way back when Brody Hoover got a base hit in this inning. They did not have a hit until then. Now it's Alex Small. A lot to do here. Takes a pitch down and outside for a 1-0 count. Alex Small, typically the guy that'll sacrifice bunt when he needs to, but he can get a couple base hits when he can. Got a few base hits and was hit by a pitch a few times against Waverly. Here's the 1-0. Down in the dirt. Gets past Jack Duvall. And coming home and scoring is going to be Logan White from third. Brody Hoover goes to third from second. John Hood from first to second. And it's 3-1 now as Norris scores a run on a wild pitch from Tyler Aldridge. It went right past the glove of Jack Duvall, the catcher, off the backstop, and Logan White heads up play to come score from third. So now 3-1, runners on third and second, 1 out, or excuse me, 2 outs, I should say. Alex Small cracks one into left center. It's going to get down. Robeson picks it up. Scoring from third is Hoover. Scoring from second is Hood. Norris ties the game. And once again, it's Alex Small, the 9-hole hitter. How great is it for Sean Bartholomew to have a guy like Alex Small as the bottom of the order guy who can get a hit when he needs to and bring home some runs, and he did. Norris, I told you how important it was for them to get a few runs in this inning. They have tied the game, and oh, how the tables have turned now. A 2-run RBI single for Alex Small. He does it again. He did have an RBI single, a one-run RBI single in the game against Waverly. Swing and a miss there for Logan Michael. The top of the order coming up for the Titans now. Cale Fountain is on deck. Sure, the Titans would want to bring him up. Bartholomew is down the third baseline clapping. He knows how important this inning has been. So there's 2 outs, runner on first. 3-3 is the score. Here's the pitch. And just a tad low. Wow, that was a tough call to be made by the home plate umpire. It's 1-1. That completely, even though I would like to see Norris win if they can, and that was it looked like a strike from my vantage point, but it's 1-1 count. Here's the pitch again, and that one's down and away to the lefty Michael. It's 2-1. If you're just joining us, couple hit by pitch, a walk and a single, put the bases loaded, and a 2-run RBI single was able to bring home the second and third run. A sacrifice fly by Bryce Fountain, or actually a wild pitch, was able to bring home Logan White. It's 3-3. Fouled off. It's 2-2 count with 2 outs. This has been quite the game so far. It's quite something that a team, an 8 seed, that has an under 500 record can put up this much of a fight against good teams like Beatrice, Waverly, and Norris. Here's the 2-2 count with 2 outs. The pitch. Grounded straight to second base. Fry's got it. Flips it to second, and the force play is made for the third out. But Norris does their job. They left 3 runners stranded in the first 3 innings. They couldn't bring them home. They bring home 3 runners this time, and the game is tied at 3, heading into a crucial 5th inning up next on All Red.